One of the best things you can do is make sure that when you hit the gym or you go for your strength training program, you have a great dynamic warm-up in place. But we want to make sure those exercises are helping you to unleash and unlock the power and progression that you have built in already. You just need a little bit of help. Today here in the gym, we're going to take a look at something you can do with just a bench or a sofa at home that's going to help you to fire up your midsection, fire those glutes, and open up your groin so that you can have a happier, healthier knees and back. Looking at rotary stability, we often think about how do we keep you from going into separating the ribs from the pelvis. But at a certain point, we're going to have to teach you how to separate them. Today's dynamic warm-up is a great way to do this. We're going to look at a side lunge cross connect up to a bench. So Jordana is going to start here with her foot about a little bit wider than her shoulder width away from her outside foot. She's going to take her inside foot up onto the bench, coming a little bit forward. Now from here, this movement is going to be a side lunge where she's trying to get her hip behind her knee, feeling the groin on the back leg stretch just a little bit as she's keeping the back knee straight. Now from here, she's going to rotate her upper torso over towards the opposite knee. We don't necessarily have to touch the elbow to knee, but that's a good goal for us to reach towards. Now, she's only getting the movement from her upper body, and she's going to rotate back and then push off the bench and come back to standing. Really important as you come through this, we don't want to rotate the whole hips. We just want to rotate the upper body from the lower body. And this is a mistake that a lot of people make, is they either crunch down or they shift their whole body over. Let's take a look at 2 or 3 repetitions and how this would look. She's coming up, making sure the back leg is nice and straight, and then she's going to take her right elbow, rotating her upper torso over, keeping her spine in a nice straight line, breathing out, and then coming back to the starting position. As she comes through each repetition, she's thinking about getting her left hip directly behind the left knee, not letting that left knee shoot out towards you guys out on camera. Now, this is a fantastic way for us to tie in the breathing as well, as the hip flexors, the psoas actually runs through the diaphragm. So here, if Jordana were to take a deep breath out through her mouth as she rotates over, she may even feel the groin and the hip flexor open up on that one side. So as she comes over, the hip goes out towards the knee, keeping her spine nice and straight, back leg straight, and then rotating elbow to knee. Now, when you do this, it's really important that we start with very small ranges of motion. Perhaps this is a little bit aggressive for you. Slide on in closer to the bench and go through as little of a range of motion as you need to make sure you're feeling just a very gentle stretch and that you're getting a tiny bit more range of motion each time you go through this. Another mistake a lot of people make is trying to slam through and go as hard or as far as they can. The exercise is going to work well and work at its best only when you're going through your range of motion. Perhaps when you get off the bike from a long weekend ride and you come in on Monday, you'll have a little bit less range of motion than Thursday or Friday. This will help you learn the different patterns that your body has, as well as identify weak areas or tight areas. As it goes for Jordana, what we're looking for out of this is to get length through the groin, firing of the glute med and min complex, and the ability to separate the upper body from the lower body, which will allow her to fire up her mid-back, her mid and lower trapezius and rhomboids in order to move the bike, throw a baseball, or do anything overhead to allow her to produce more power using her core to be able to progress further. Now, if you found this information today from the video to help you understand why and how we introduce separation of the rotation from the hips from the pelvis, make sure you subscribe down below to the channel and head on over to the Human Vortex Training website, check out a couple blogs, and make sure you're signing up for our newsletter.